You're listening to Just Talking Love, broadcasting from News Talk 93 FM right here on the beautiful modern campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. We're about to take a short break. We'll be back with you momentarily. Yes, of course, we all have our differences, we all have our shortcomings and so forth. But the main thing we need to understand is that we're all humans and we were made to love and be loved. We were made to serve, not just be served, but to serve. Now, there's a story behind every person, every one of us. We do have a story. We have a story to tell. We have the privilege to listen others' stories. We have a very special guest this evening in the person of Reverend Carla Dunbar. Good evening, Reverend Dunbar.
Good evening, Dr. Fabian. How are you?
Very well, thanks. What sort of week have you had?
A very hectic week. I've been from Montego Bay to Old Arbor, speaking to couples about love.
You have?
Yes.
And it's so wonderful that you have your husband, Mr. Canute Dunbar, with you this evening.
Yes, good evening.
How are you? It's so good to have you here. It's one of the blessings that we have got to share this evening. We are having both Reverend Dunbar and her husband together.
It's a blessing for me.
In one studio.
Yes.
And you know, I think we should dedicate a very special song to you both, before we start our little chat this evening. And it's that wonderful sound. I love you.
As I write this letter, my heart's beating much too fast for my pen. Soon I'll be in your arms again. To think I'll be with you, to taste all those sweet, sweet kisses once more. Darling, that's what I'm longing for. But most of all, I just want to hear that wonderful sound. I love you. It brings sweet music to my heart. It's been so long since I heard the sound, that wonderful sound. I need you, my love. Why ever did we part? I need reassuring. Those thoughts have been storing up in my mind. When I get home, what will I find? Will you still remember? And will your love be tender and strong? I've been away from you so long. So when I'm home, I just want to hear that wonderful sound. I love you. It brings sweet music to my heart. It's been so long
Reverend Dunbar,
Yes.
good evening again.
Good evening.
You are a person who wears many hats.
Yeah, yes, I do.
There's so many that I'd like you to tell us about them.
Okay. I am a pastor first and foremost. I
Yes.
pastor the Church of God of Prophecy in Cavalier, St. Andrew. I've been pastoring for 15 years. I'm also a marriage, family, and sex therapist.
Right.
So I'm in the field of counseling and helping persons along in their relationships. Right. That's mostly what I do. I'm a motivational speaker. So I speak in conferences, governmental, non-governmental, the church, etc. So I do that, and now I'm an author.
Yes. You've recently wrote this beautiful book,
Yes.
which I've had the pleasure of reviewing. We're going to be speaking about it a little bit later.
Certainly.
But to start off, the song that we just played, in part to say that we need reassurance now. In a relationship, do you think that reassurance, be it man or woman, reassurance is important and vitally necessary?
It's a very necessary ingredient. We are social human beings. We
Yes.
are created to interact. We are created to love and to be loved. And so it goes without saying that whilst one is in a relationship and initially we know that we are loved, we need to be told. And one would say, especially of the fairer sex, the feminine sex,
Yes, yes.
right? We need to be told quite often, ever so often, that we are loved.
That's right. Before I go any further, let's ask Mr. Kenny Dunbar. Do you agree with that, Mr. Dunbar? You need to be reassured.
Yes, we do need to be reassured all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time, right? I like that.
So the mature syndrome doesn't play into this at all. It is a fact of life that humans are made to be loved and be loved,
Yes.
and they need to be reassured
Yes.
from time to time.
Indeed.
We're going to be playing some songs. As you know, this show is musical driven, and we're going to play some songs from the female perspective.
Okay.
And we'll just look at what they have to say for a few moments, and then we'll proceed. You're listening to Just Talking Love, broadcasting from News Talk 93 FM right here on the beautiful modern campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. We're about to take a short break. We'll be back with you momentarily.